figured that out.
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the April 3rd, 2017 Crest Hill City Council meeting to order. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Vicki.
Ray Solomon.
Here.
Glenn Conklin.
Present.
Scott Dyke.
Here.
John Verche.
Here.
Barbara Scolaire.
Here.
Claudia Gazal.
Here.
Tina Oberlin.
Present.
Candy Thuringer.
Present.
Charlie Convery.
Here.
Tom Inman.
Here. Okay, you have before you the minutes of the March 20th, 2017 Crest Hill City Council meeting. Motion would be in order.
So moved as presented. Second.
Motion by Alderwoman Thuringer, seconded by Alderwoman Scolaire. Questions or comments in regards to the minutes? Roll call, please.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, moving on with our agenda, our city administrator, Heather McGuire. Good evening, Heather.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have just one item for your consideration this evening. It is a request from Crest Hill Land Development LLC for reduction in their letter of credit. They are mostly complete with the remaining work in the park, so they have requested we reduce this letter down to 25%, which is the minimum allowed per our letter of credit ordinance until it is converted into a maintenance letter of credit. That would reduce it from $1.3 million down to $325,000, and this is supported by our engineer's memo in your packet.
And you have no issues with it?
I do not. They have submitted all their final paperwork. We're pretty much just waiting on some FEMA approvals at this point.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Convery, seconded by Alderman Inman. Questions or comments in regards to the letter of credit reduction request? Roll call, please, Maggie.
John Verche.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The informational packet is in, the informational report is in your packet, and for the public's information, we will be having a work session on April 10th. Current topics include the pet store ordinance, Vertec technology presentation, and Sunnyland subdivision. I'd be happy to answer any questions this evening.
Questions of the city administrator? Thank you, Heather. Moving on to Public Works Department. Tony was sick today, so we have with us Mark Seifert, the Director of Water and Wastewater, handling the report and the agenda items. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The first item I have in front of you is the engineering design services proposal from Strand Engineering for the East Water Reclamation Facility phosphorus removal improvements. This contract is for a total cost of $321,000 split over 2 years. The first payment would come out of this year's fiscal budget, with the second one coming out of next year's, and design would start right away with our hope to get this in front of the EPA near the end of this calendar year.
And
So moved as presented.
all of these agenda items under Public Works were discussed at the March 20th work session. We have a motion by Alderwoman Oberlin, seconded by
Second.
Alderman Convery. Questions or comments in regards to the proposal for Strand Engineering? Roll call, please.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next item in front of you is the Well 10 booster pump upgrades. This would be a capital project for next year, with the design coming out of this year's fiscal budget. Currently, the pumps are set up in series, not allowing us to pump much from the high to low or low to high. We'd be trying to move them into a parallel situation to get more flow from the high to low side. The design, the cost would be $28,600, and I'm asking for your approval.
Again, this is for Oakland Avenue, Mark, correct?
The corner of Oakland and Kane Farm.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Dyke, seconded by Alderman Verche. Questions or comments in regards to the Well 10 booster pump upgrade at the corner of Oakland and Caton Farm Road? Roll call, please, Vicki.
Candy Theringer.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Barbara Scoler.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next is the Technical Service Agreement Amendment Number 1. As we spoke about last work session, our 2-year agreement for the technical services was up December 2016. So we're looking to amend that contract to go 2 more years to December 14th of 2018. This would need your approval.
So, moved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderwoman Oberlin, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal for the extension of 2-year agreement with Strand Technical Services. Questions or comments in regards to the motion? Roll call,
Tom
please.
Inman.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Candy Theringer.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Barbara Scoler.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Excuse me. Next on the agenda is the Illinois 53 fence project. Last work session, it was talked about in roughly a $25,000 cost to replace the old deteriorated fence on 53 between the new fence and the the viaduct. And this would be in front of council for approval.
Motion would be in order.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Alderman Dyke, seconded by Alderman Inman, and again, we discussed this at length at the work session on March 20th also. Questions or comments in regards to the request?
Well, I just don't like the idea of us spending taxpayer money on property that belongs to, I believe, the state, and then us getting dumped with ownership of it and maintenance of it in the future. So I'm gonna have to say no.
Anybody else?
I'll have to say no also on it.
Roll call, please, Vicki.
Charlie Convery.
Reluctantly, I'll say yes.
Candy Theringer.
Reluctantly, yes.
Tina Oberlin.
No.
Claudia Gazal.
No.
Barbara Scoler.
Yes, because I don't feel like we have much of a choice here, but also reluctantly.
John Verche.
No.
Scott Dyke.
I feel, yes, it's important making Route 53 to continue with its beautification and help with the image of the city and hopefully bring some development down there. So I vote yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes. We don't do it now, it'll never get done.
Motion carries.
Just one comment in regards to that vote, and we did discuss this, as I said, at the March 20th meeting. The state of Illinois did take down the old dilapidated building 2 years ago, put in about 200 feet of new fence, and took out a lot of the trees and shrubberies that were at the south end of the project, just north of Cheney Avenue. I did speak with Senator McGuire in the last 2 years several times, and Representative Larry Wells Jr. several times to see if there was any state money to do the 500 feet of fence that we have just approved tonight. And unfortunately, with all of the budgetary woes that Springfield is having and the state is having, that option was not even available. So I do agree with Alderman Dyke 110% that, if we want to have beautification in this city and if we want to make Broadway Street look more attractive, it has to begin here, it seems, at this point in time. So you either live with what you have down there, you would have a new fence, an old dilapidated fence that's been rusted out for 40 years, trees growing through it, and then we just did all the work and the improvements at the viaduct. So if you consider Broadway Street or Route 53 one of the entryways and exits to the city, I think this was a good move for the city to spend the money to make the improvements and to make the area more attractive and more marketable. Anybody else like to make comments?
No, I mean, I agree with you. We need to work on Broadway, but I have hard time using that type of money on private property. So after thinking about it, and I know I said in the work session, yes, after thinking about it, I came to conclusion it's not
I said last
time
week,
to spend money on private property. Thank you, John. I was talking. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No. What for?
I said last week that, you can't spend taxpayers' money on property that the city does not own, and they spend right there, $25,000 again. Can't do that.
Okay, Mark?
The last thing I have for you tonight, This last week, when I was down in Springfield, the City of Crest Hill Water Department was awarded the Illinois Department of Public Health Fluoride Award for the 24th straight year. I was going to have Jim Vogren here tonight, our water operator, but unfortunately he is under the weather, along with a bunch of other people in the department. So unfortunately he could not make it to accept the award, but I do want to commend him in front of everyone. This is a very tough award to get, especially 24 years in a row. The award, when we get this award, it means we have perfect compliance of our fluoride testing and fluoride application throughout the year. In November 2015, the Illinois Department of Public Health greatly reduced the range in which we can have our fluoride in the drinking water. They reduced it by about 33%. So natural fluoride fluctuates daily, so having to add chemical to a already naturally fluctuating natural element is a very difficult thing to do, but Jim managed to do it for 12 straight months at a perfect compliance record. And as you see at the bottom of the memo there, the City of Crest Hill is the 13th longest running streak in the state of Illinois. We are the #1 longest streak in Will County, and you see that the only towns that are really close would be Morris in Grundy County. Everybody else is either at the bottom of the state or up in the northwest corner of the state. So in this greater Chicago, Collier counties, we're the longest streak as well. So I just want to bring this to your attention.
That's very nice, Mark. Thank you very much. I did have one question. A resident asked me, if they have particular issues with their water, they think something's wrong, that it's discolored, it smells bad or anything, can't they bring that here and have it tested?
It depends what they're looking for. If somebody says we just want to get our water tested in general, there's a lot of parameters. So if it's taste, smell, things that are very easy for somebody, myself or on my staff to do, it's easy. But to do in-depth testing that requires a lot of capital, no, we don't do. Because number one, we would have to send it out to a lab and burden that cost. But the sensory stuff, taste, sight, smell, those types of things, yes, we will look at. But any of the more in-depth testing is required to go to a lab.
So if they brought you something and it was, to you, even odd, discolored, bad smell, bad taste, whatever you say, would you then test it?
Yeah, what we would do is we would go into the field, depending on where that resident lives, and kind of see what's going on in that area.
Okay.
Our best, I talked about it before with hydrant flushing is really our window into the system. So when we would open a hydrant and see what the water is like in the system compared to what's coming out of their faucet, to try to see, is it something in the homeowner's house or is it something going on in the main? Okay. And that's, unfortunately, we can't see every little part of the main since it is underground. So what we will do is we'll open a hydrant, kind of see what's coming out of that hydrant, take a sample there, and then take a sample representative inside the house at the same time, and kind of compare. I know we had a resident last week brought a sample in, and unfortunately I was off all last week with the flu. So I know I talked to her today, and she brought me a sample in, and I took a swig of it today, and it was I couldn't taste anything or smell anything. So she said she was gonna meet with me later this week.
Well, thank you for all that information.
No problem.
On this 24 years, that includes other operators we had for probably 5 or 6 other people before Jim.
Yes.
So we've been doing a good job with everyone we had so far.
Yes, and I know in the past memos, we've kind of mentioned everybody who's gone along. This year, I just want since it was Jim this last year, 100%, I want to make sure he got his recognition for the first time. So, but prior to that, Billy King, Eric Garriott, prior to that, that's well before my tenure. So I know John Roberts was here.
Yeah.
I really don't know who before that. It's a lot before.
A guy named Jim Paul was before him.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who was before Jim.
Yeah. So I think it was 1994 was our first full year.
Yeah, we had some good ones all the well so far. At least another good one.
Thank you.
And this is a nice award to get. I mean, it's, for 24 years, that's fantastic. And, to John's point, he's right. There's been a lot of other people that's been involved in this, and everybody past, present. Because I know that Jim does most of this, but I'm sure it's a team effort that everybody shares a little of responsibility with this one. So it's, hats off to everybody in that department for the job that they do, for getting the Fluoride Award for 24 straight years.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mark.
Mark, congratulations to you and your staff,
Thank you.
Yep.
old and new.
Congratulations, Mark.
Thank you.
Please give Jim our congratulations too for a
I will.
job well done.
I will. As soon as I see him again, I hope he's back tomorrow. And with that, I will answer any questions that anyone has.
Any questions of Mark for Public Works? Thank you, Mark. Community Development Department, our Economic Development Director, Scott McMaster. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have no agenda items this evening, but I did want to remind everybody of the notice of public hearing given by the Will County Planning and Zoning Commission that's being held on April 6th at the Will County Office Building located at 302 North Chicago and Joliet. This is for property in Lockport, but they were required to send out a notice to the city. This is for the address 3240 South State Street pertaining to a special use permit for packaged liquor sales. Again, that's April 6th at 6:30 at 302 North Chicago and Joliet. I would also like to make note that next week's April 12th Plan Commission meeting will discuss a couple of sign variances. And that is all I have.
Any questions of Scott? Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Moving on to Police Department, our Police Chief Ed Clark. Good evening, Ed.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have before you this evening an ordinance authorizing surplus of 43 items of city property for either disposal or destruction. Items from a microwave to the old breath machine that's been sitting there, and a lot of items such as the old docking stations that we can't fit in our cars anymore because we got new cars. So just a lot of stuff that's taking up space. Some things will be disposed of properly. The other things will be maybe scrapped for metal.
Well, that was my question when I saw desktop computers, because, you know, we don't want any of that stuff getting out there.
No.
With hard drives and.
Correct.
You know, forensics can dig up things far after you think they're gone.
Absolutely, yeah. We take the hard drives out and destroy those, so.
Thanks.
So I'd be looking for approval of that ordinance.
So moved as presented.
Second.
Motion by Alderwoman Oberlin, seconded by Alderwoman Thuringer. Questions or comments in regards to the surplus property? Roll call, please, Vicki.
Barbara Scoler,
Yes.
Claudia Gazal,
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance numbers 1732.
Thank you. Reports are on file. I'd be willing to entertain any questions.
Any questions, Police Chief?
Thanks, Ed.
Okay, thank you, Ed. Moving on to the mayor's report. A copy of my report is in your packet. I have no agenda items. I would be do my best to try and answer any questions that anybody will have. Hearing none, we'll move on to city clerk's report. Our city clerk, Vicki Hackney. Good evening, Vicki.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have no agenda items this evening. If there's any questions of the clerk's office, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Questions of the city clerk? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Moving on to our treasurer's report. Glenn Conklin. Good evening, Glenn.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, and Tom Larson. I'd like to report the regular and overtime payroll from March 6th, 2017 through March 19th, 2017, in the amount of $195,991.82. I do seek your approval on our list of bills. The total is $260,323.02.
Motion would be in order.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Convery, seconded by Alderman Dyke. Questions or comments in regards to the list of bills motion? Roll call, please.
Barbara Scoler.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. I'd entertain any questions.
Any questions of the city treasurer? Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you.
Moving on to unfinished business, we have nothing on the agenda. Anybody? New business? Anybody? Committee liaison reports. Anybody? City council comments. Anybody would like to begin tonight? Alderman Inman?
Thank you, Mayor. I just have one thing to say, as everybody knows, tomorrow is election day, and we encourage all of our residents to go out and vote. If you haven't done so already, this is one of those outstanding rights you have as an American citizen. Make sure you use it. Get out there and voice your opinion. And with that, I'll pass it on to my partner here, Chuck.
I'll echo just what Tom said about getting out tomorrow and voting. The other thing is, we always talk about the start of World War II, Pearl Harbor Day. The 6th of this week, which will be, Thursday?
Thursday.
We celebrate the 100th anniversary of our entrance into World War I. We lost 107,000 soldiers, sailors, what have you. So let's all remember that. And it's not zero in or exclusively on World War II. World War I was a terrible war that was supposed to be the war to end all wars, which we know it did not do. We've had too many wars since then. Candy?
Thank you. I just wanted to piggyback on the voting tomorrow. No matter who your candidate is, exercise your right to vote. And I always tell people when they start complaining about their elected officials, my first question is, did you vote? And when they say no, I say, then you have no room to complain. It's the one privilege you have, the one right you have is to vote. And they've made it so easy for you to do anymore. You can vote by mail. You can early vote. You don't have to fight the crowds on voting day. Whatever your method is, please exercise your right to vote and vote for the candidate of your choice. Again, Mark, congratulations on the award. You guys do a great job in our water, wastewater department. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Well, Mark, I'll reiterate what Candy said. That's a fabulous announcement, and we're all very proud of you and the hard work you're doing. So continue it. Tell the guys, great job again. As usual, they always do a great job. And I will continue the sentiment. As an American, it's your right to vote, and you do need to do it. Don't complain unless you've done it. So get out there tomorrow and vote.
Ward 1, Alderman Dyke.
I have nothing to add to what's already been said, so.
Alderman Verche.
Everyone should exercise their constitutional rights, get out to vote. And I'd like to say that 2 weeks ago, I delivered another dozen of roses to a gentleman that was 101 years old. I missed his 100th birthday, so I got it to him. He lived to be 101. He's got the roses, so he was very happy. Now, that's about 10 or 11 people now in the city. And I think out of all of them, I think there's 2 still alive. And one gentleman is 106 years old now. So we have an old timer in town. That's all.
If he gets 110, he should get another dozen.
Yeah, he should.
Get 2 dozen.
Yeah, there you go.
Ward 2, Alderwoman Sclair.
Well, again, I just wanted to make sure that everyone does get out there and vote. I mean, obviously it's a privilege, and it's also something that everyone needs to do. Not every country in the world has this opportunity, but we are most fortunate just to have that. So get out there and vote.
Alderwoman Gazal.
Well, as everyone knows, this Sunday is Palm Sunday, and next week it's Easter. So I want to wish all the residents, all the elected officials, all the staff, happy and blessed Easter. And I just want to second everyone that says here, I really feel big about voting because I lived in some countries where you don't even have the right for your opinion. So get out there and exercise your vote.
Our
Thank you,
city,
Mayor.
are you done? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Our city treasurer, Glenn Conklin, asked if he could address council.
I would just like to commend the contested candidates in this election. It has been a very classy campaign, and all those who participated in it took the high road and played well, and that's something that I'm very proud of in our city, that it went that way. So I want to thank the candidates.
You must don't have Facebook.
I don't have Facebook. Say anything?
I would just like to wish everyone good luck tomorrow, no matter who the winner is. I think I've expressed to some council members here that we all remain friends, and we've all had met our acquaintances, and hopefully we'll all remain friends after this. So, again, reiterate what Glenn said is, you know, it's been a great deal of information out there, and hopefully everyone takes and exercises their right to vote. So, thank you.
Okay, public comment. Anybody would like to address city council, you need to come to the podium, state your name for the record. Your address is optional. Tom, good evening.
Holy mackerels.
Good evening, Tom Larson. I just wanted to wish all candidates good luck tomorrow, and once again, everybody get out and vote.
Thank you.
Tom.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Anybody else? To our city attorney, or our city administrator, Heather McGuire. Heather, is there a need for executive session?
No, there's not, Mayor.
Motion to adjourn, Mayor.
We have motion for an adjournment by Alderman Dyke, seconded by Alderman Verche. Questions or comments of the motion? Roll call, please.
Tom Inman?
Yes.
Charlie Convery?
Yes.
Candy Thuringer?
Yes.
Tina Oberlin?
Yes.
Claudia Gazal?
Yes.
Barbara Scalera?
Yes.
John Verche?
Yes.
Scott Dyke?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, meeting is adjourned at 7:26 p.m. Thank you.